Good morning, amigos. As you can see, we're not at home in the country. Not at the racetrack either. It's a weekend right before my birthday, so we decided to take a couple of days and go hang out and do a little fishing at a really cool place on Lake Norman. So, won't be a lot of content, but I mean, look at that. It's a cool house with my thumb in the way. The house is very retro, like late 60s, early 70s style. It's cool. But I mean, what the hell? We'll get back to car stuff later. So yeah. Well, hey there. So, still on vacation. Still spending time on this wonderful dock on this gorgeous lake with beautiful weather. Not catching any fish. Been so long since I've been fishing, I'm about out of ideas as to what to try. I've tried about everything I know how to do that I remember, other than buying some bait and seeing if we can catch some catfish. But we might need to explore that option tomorrow. But other than that, it's a really pretty place down here. I can see why so many people like it here, but too rich for my blood to live here. Well, welcome back. So it's the middle of the week, and as you can see, back home. Did not go racing this past weekend. We actually went out of town, went and spent a few days at the lake house. Not our lake house, but it's a lake house. Somebody else owns it, and we had to pay them for the privilege of staying there, but it's still a lake house, so it still counts. So seriously though, it was my birthday, so we went out of town for a few days. It was our first vacation of this year, and it's October, so that tells you how this year has been for us. We spent 4 nights there. 4 nights. It was on Lake Norman. Really cool house, straight out of the 1960s. Nice place. Not expensive, clean inside. Had that old nostalgia vibe to it. Didn't charge us for the puppies to stay with us. That's always good. Which means not much got done to this. Before we left, I did check the timing. No, I still haven't found verified top dead center yet. Instead, I just went off of the assumption that the mark that I had used was not 0 and it was actually 10. So I set it off of that, and it's now at 28. It was 30 before, but if it was 10, that meant it was really 40. Now it's 28 if it's 10. If it's 20, then that means it's 48, which I don't think it was 20. We'll see how it runs this week. I did reset all the, didn't change it. Well, I did change it. So I did run valve lash. They were all loose. They were equally loose across the board. I honestly had not checked it since the motor had been started. So they had only been set initially cold. So they were all loose. Equally loose, like I said. So we'll see what it does. We will go this weekend. We'll take it over to Farmington. They have their annual door car race, which, those of you that may remember, is the race that basically broke this camel's back on keeping the 351 Cleveland stuff. $10,000 to win door car race, which we're not going to enter. We're going to run foot brake, because that's what that is. It's a foot brake car. We're not entering the top ET side of it. But 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I don't know, whenever the hell that was, you can look back if you want. We got to the 6th round, got down to 10 cars, and the motor decided it had had enough and slowed down a bunch. And we had the man covered. We would have had to buy the next round, so we would have been still in at 3 cars. It was my race to lose, and I still believe that. I just had that gut feeling that I was winning that race. The motor had other ideas. So all of that stuff is gone now. So anyway, we'll take this over there. We'll run foot brake. We will bring money along for a buyback because I'm afraid we're only going to get one time run, and I'd really like to have two. First pass, I'm just going to stage her up shallow and do everything the same as I had last weekend, 2 weekends ago. The first time out, we'll just go with that, the first time out, and see what it does. If I'm still 70 in the tree, we'll go up for the next round and dial it up. If it's actual race, we'll just dial her up a few numbers. I don't know what at this point, 6, 7 numbers. Knock the stall RPM down 400 or 500 RPM and put her in deep and see what we can do. Or maybe just take a big bump. I mean, I don't know. We'll figure something out, but we're not going to do the same thing twice in a row if we're still where we were the first time out. As for the lake house, we were at Lake Norman in a little town called Denver. Nice house, right on the lake, had a deep water dock. I checked the water level out there with fishing pole, dropped the line down to the bottom and pulled it up, and it was 12 feet deep or so. It was probably good 12, 14 feet deep. So it was pretty deep. I spent 4 days fishing. Caught a few fish, nothing to keep, but just hung out. We went out for supper on my birthday and went to a really nice restaurant. If you're in the area, the place is called Chill Fire Grill. Check it out. It was one of the top probably 3 dining experiences I've had, which is, service, food, ambiance, and just overall atmosphere. I mean, which is kind of ambiance. But overall, definitely a top 3. Definitely a top 3. And that was on a Monday night. So we would definitely go back there again. The whole lake life thing, yeah, we'll definitely do that again too. That was nice. Anyway, back to streetcar / race car. Yeah, it's got an identity problem right now. So we're going to take it this weekend. Probably maybe next weekend, depending on what the weather looks like. Probably a couple more times before the year's out. And then I got a buddy who has offered multiple times to let me drive his car. Top ET car. Yeah, it's a Chevrolet, and you know what? It don't matter. It's probably nicer than anything else I've ever driven, if I'm being honest. He's offered to let me drive it, double up in it with him. He run one entry, I run another. So I really think I'm going to take him up on that on the Friday of Galat's door car race. Go down, get me a time run in it, and then run the race. It runs 590s, 6.0s. I mean, it's got power windows, full interior. I mean, it's a nice race car. I mean, it's a nice car. And if we don't do that, we're still going to take this a couple more times. 2, 3 more times maybe. But anyway, so we're home. We're going to try and get this posted up before this weekend so that we're not a video behind. And we will chat at you later. So yeah.